тема, која што многу таза од пред, мислам дека еден ден ни дојде. Имаме шанса да имаме еден многу интересен човек кој што е CEO и co-founder на Burner Brand. Тоа претпоставам дека сте веќе запознаени сите вие кои што седите пред компјутер и гледате, поминувате многу часови пред мониторот. На тема The Power of People-Centric Workplace го имаме Ramon Perez. Hi Ramon, how are you?
Hello, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, of course, loud and clear. Yeah,
good.
So wow, what part of the earth are you calling from?
I'm in Barcelona, Spain.
Okay, cool. So it looks like it's summer there, is it?
It's not today. Today I think it's gonna rain, but normally we have like really good weather. Yeah. Normally,
I love Barcelona. It's always about the wine and the good cheese and
good food, Iranian food
and everything. No. Okay, so you have your screen time. Please enlighten us.
Can I share screen?
Of course, yeah. Just click the monitor button.
That's it. Are you seeing the presentation?
Yeah, it's excellent. Oh, it's great.
Okay, cool. Well, first of all, thank you everyone for inviting me here. I'm super grateful for this opportunity of showing you what we have learned since we started 3 years ago and how we have brought Barner from $100,000 the first year to more than 4 million right now. Okay, it has been a learning in about all the parts of the e-commerce. And when Philip came to me to explain about COVID and e-commerce, the first thing I thought, it's okay, what it's an e-commerce? It's product factory, it's SEM, Facebook, Google AdWords, Instagram, of course, SEO as well, and then the delivery, okay? Unless you are a drop shipper, that of course, you go just with those two. But at the end, the normal thing is going with these four, okay? For me, what we have learned in this huge adventure that we are having right now is that this is important, but the most important thing is that the people behind these all parts. Why? Because at the end, one idea for me, it's 5%, a company, it's 5% idea, 95% execution. So the persons that execute for me is the most important thing, okay? Just a little briefing, just to understand what is Barner. It started with a personal feeling of being all day in front of the computer and using all day eye drops because you have your eye strain, red eyes, itchy eyes. So at the end, you have this feeling and you can't stop of using eye drops all the day. We started in 2017, okay, with the brand, with this personal need. And then we launched our first Kickstarter campaign. We raised $110,000 euros, in just 1 month and a half. So we thought, okay, we have something. I think we have a niche, a product that everyone needs. And through Kickstarter, that we are like, in this campaign, we were like top 1% of best Kickstarters in the world in more than 500,000 campaigns. We thought, okay, we know something. And then we started to think about people and think about asking and think about feedback. So what we did is just ask all those 1,000 people what they thought about the product. They wanted like more flexible. They wanted more light. They wanted it more colorful. They wanted cheaper. So after all those questions, we said, okay, we know that we want to do blue light glasses. Okay, but what about the features? And then we improved all the features accordingly to the feedback of all our clients. And at the end, we raised this first year, it was 140,000 euros, okay? But after the second campaign, here, let me check here, we raised almost $700,000 again, in just 1 month and a half. So 7 times what we did in the first time. And this is about people, because it's about feedback. So what we did just in this case, it's knowing the needs of our clients and doing things according to that. In this moment, when we raised all that money, it was in mid 2019, more or less. We thought, okay, now we have money and finally we can start hiring. So we start hiring, and at the point that we were 5 people, and this is one of the most important things in Barner that happened, is that we started to have a lot of questions that you may have. And this affects a lot of, well, at the second point, it will affect a lot of COVID, okay? But how do we communicate with our customers? What do we have to talk about? How do we have to talk? What pictures should we upload in Instagram or Facebook? What kind of shootings do we have to do? Do we have to create a blog? What will we explain to new hirings? What is partner? That was a lot of questions. And if you don't know how to answer these questions at this point, I will ask you to stop and think about what we are going to explain now, because it has been like a point where Barner started to grow so fast. Okay. And thanks to a lot of things, but mainly because people, and of course, having a mission and a vision. And mission and vision, it's not just about, okay, we have to do that. We have to improve the world. We have to, no. Because in this moment here we had no culture. Here we had the mission that it was protecting the eyes of the clients. But that, after a few months, we realized that it was the mission of this product, but not the mission of the company. Okay. So here, when I'm talking about mission and vision, in our case is to empower the life of digital generations, it's not just having one mission and having one direction. It's the way you are going to communicate with the people. In terms of B2C e-commerce, I'm going to empower the life of all the clients that are placing orders there. In terms of a B2B corporate, for example, I'm going to help you take care of your employees. In terms of investors, of course, in case you have challenge, money, and in case of new hirings, Barner is a place to grow professional and personal while you are helping us to reach our mission. So it's not just about having one mission and everyone believing in it. It's just your behavior has to go with it, and everyone that you communicate the mission, it's in one way. Okay. And last but not least, in this point, well, here you have the second, to empower the life of digital generations, and our vision is to be a more, or to, we believe in a more conscious world, because we are not like digital detox company. We know that digital devices are like neutral, they are not bad or good, it's everything depends on how you use it. Okay. And last but not least, it's the core values. The core values for me, it has been one of the most important things, because mission and vision, it's amazing. You have one direction, but the core values is how you behave every day, how you evaluate. We evaluate our employees regarding if they are or not into our core values. And this, that you can think it's all made by the managers or the creators of the company or the owners or the investors, is not. When I'm talking about being a people-centric company, I'm talking about co-creation. What we did here is we were all the company in the same room with a board, and we start putting a lot of adjectives, active, sorry, we want to be active, we want to be familiar, we want to be happy, we want to be professional, we want to be conscious, we want to be a lot of things. Okay. And after putting all those adjectives, finally we found our core values that I want to step over one, but just a briefing. Our first one is passion for life. It's like being active, loving your family, your friends, doing sport, not being lazy. Okay. Little Buddha, it's about being conscious, not just with trees, with land, with plants. No, it's just being conscious with your task and how your task affect your colleagues as well and the people that surrounds you. Okay. Then we have Padawan mindset, that it's being humble. It's like living the life from a student point of view and not from I know absolutely everything. Because when you're in that mood, you cannot grow. When you're a student, you have all the path in front of you to grow. Okay. But the most important one for this COVID, in fact, was the pride in ownership. We in Barner, we don't care when people enters, we don't care when people leaves, we don't care if they come to the office or not. We are not checking if they're entering the computer, the Slack, if they're sending emails at 7, at 8, at 10, at 11. We don't care, because when we hire someone, we establish a role, a position, and together with this role, we agree on some tasks. And we agree. I mean, I agree with my employee. I know you're capable of doing that, so these are your tasks. So pride in ownership for us means no matter what you're going to do, what you have to do, not because of the partner, not because of you, but because being fair and being with your team. Because as always, this is a team, and we have to go in the same direction, and we need to be everyone as much engaged as we can. So when you have the values, when you have the mission, the vision, the core values, everyone is super engaged. And this is what we felt, that everyone, even though we had to work remotely, and we still have to work remotely, everyone was doing 100%. Okay, but the good thing with brand in ownership, and it's one more, it's important and it's trendy nowadays, is like you don't do micromanagement, and thanks to that, you help people to be more creative. I don't care how you're doing to do that. If you need help, please ask me, and then I will help you as much as I can. But please be creative. Do your task as good as you can, because I've hired you because of your capabilities. When we hire, of course, we take a look at the hard skills, at the soft skills, but also we take care about the core values. Because when you're having this conversation of hiring new people and you start talking about the salary, about the task, about the role, it's okay. But when you're talking about values and you see that the new hiring or the candidates, it's just okay, blah blah blah, go to the final step, that is the salary, you know that there is not engagement. You know that there is not that feeling of this guy is gonna take over my company if he needs to do that. Okay. So pride in ownership for us is the most important values in this moment, because it means that everyone will do his 100% even though we are working remotely. Thanks to that, of course, it's trust. When you give them this pride in ownership, thanks to that, it's trust. They can create, they can collaborate between them. It's about respect. I'm respecting you. I'm respecting your capabilities. I'm not going to be on top of you every minute to see if you're doing the things right. At the end of the day, or tomorrow, or the day after, the week after, we're going to check it out. Okay, so please be yourself. I hired you because of your capabilities, on your behavior, on your personality. Okay, so, yep, before going to that one, this is the first step, like mission, vision, core values. But thanks to this pride in ownership and this little Buddha and everything, we move to the second thing most important that happened in Barner since we started. That are the OKRs. OKRs are huge. Okay, I don't want to spend a lot of time here, but it's if entrepreneurs are looking at this, please study more about that and implement that in your companies, because this has made a huge difference in the performance of the team. Okay, but for you to know OKRs, it's okay. The board of directors of the or the owners set the company objective. Okay, I want that revenue. I want that revenue growing in those countries more or less. Okay, that's fine. But the good thing with OKRs, it's about people, is that each team set their own objectives. Okay, and each team and each person had their own personal objectives. So I'm not setting the objectives or the tasks or the roles of the teams of Barner. They are setting their own goals, their own tasks, and their own ambition. So at the end, it's okay. Be creative. Do whatever you want to do. Me and Edu, in our case, we have decided we want to do this revenue, and we want to have this profitability, sorry, and we want to move to all those countries. So yes, this is like the global mission, the global objective, sorry, not the mission. But then you let your people decide what they want to do in order to achieve those goals, and how each one of their tasks are going to impact the whole objective. So this is super interesting, because it's not just about going everyone in the same direction. It's just everyone being free in time, being free in task, being free in role. Okay, so these OKRs, please, if you're listening to this, investigate more and try to implement these. It's no matter if you're in e-commerce and a SaaS company or anything, but this will help you 100%. And it's everything about people. Okay. One more thing regarding people and the clients in this moment of COVID, because of course, thanks to COVID, all the factories stopped. Probably most of your factories have stopped as well, and you start running out of stock. You start like having bad deliveries. You start having like a lot of issues that they were not depending on you. So at the end, what we understood is that everyone was feeling the same issues in that moment regarding one of, we call it like the groups inside the circle of impact, let's say like that in English. That was when I was talking about the B2C clients, the B2B clients, the new hirings, the employees, and so on. When you're talking with B2C clients, it's all about transparency, and transparency has to be inside the company and outside the company. For example, when we were running out of stock, what we did is to communicate. If we sold some items that we had no stock, we compensate. We told them when we had when the time when we were going to have new stock. We asked them, of course, a lot of apologies that was not in our hands, but everything that we are doing from inside to outside, we're doing from inside to inside. We're talking the same way with our employees. It's super interesting because the final step that I'm going to talk right now, it's about feedback, and it's about conversations or conversactions. Okay, how we call it? It's conversation with actions, because at the end you cannot feel how your employees are feeling if you don't talk to them. So you have to create spaces to talk with them, and they have to feel super safe when they're talking to their managers. This is the last point I want to talk about. It's like create spaces to talk. This is something that in COVID more than ever helped us a lot, because a lot of people, they were not used to be at home that much time, day after day, time after time, not seeing people. So that was hard. So in terms of the spaces that we have in Barton, I recommend you to have them as well in your companies. We have the first one that is the daily meetings. Okay, this is regarding the team. We have the OKRs. So every day, 10 minutes, we have a space to solve daily questions. Of course, everyone can open my Slack and ask me questions, but we have at 11, more or less in the morning, a space of 10, 15 minutes with the team, operations, customer satisfaction, marketing, finance, sales, no matter what. Okay, we have all a space to let people ask questions, because it's at 11, because from 9 to 11 or 8 to 11, you will be stuck in some tasks that until you don't have the right answer, you will move on. Of course, you will be able to do other kind of things, but for those tasks in specific that you don't know the answer, you will stop. So at 11, it's a moment where we have this space. And thanks to that, it's not everyone opening Slack all the time, because Slack sometimes it's a nightmare. So we have this space for reducing this kind of anxiety, of the people that have a lot of questions. This is the first space I would recommend you to create. The second one is the weekly meeting. Okay, as you know, we have the OKRs, but then how is everyone doing? I don't know if marketing is doing properly good. I don't know how it's finance. I don't know how our sales. And not just me, that I'm the founder, but also I want sales to know what is happening in finance, and I want finance to know what's happening in customer satisfaction, and what are the defects in our glasses sometimes, because customer satisfaction are receiving those tickets. Okay, so we have a weekly meeting to follow up the OKRs and to know what we have been doing in all the departments, if there is something important announcement to do, or in case any team is stuck in one of the OKRs. Okay, OKRs means objectives and key results. Okay, then finally, and one of the most important ones is the one-on-one. I know there are a lot of companies that they don't have these one-on-ones. For me, it's super important. It's just once a month, okay? If you need to do it like more times, you can do twice a month, something like this. But the one-to-one is the most important space for the employees to talk with their managers and say really and truly things how they are feeling. It's like, for myself, for example, what we talk about the first 10 minutes or the first 15, or no matter the time, the time that the employee needs is, okay, what did you like this month? And the second one is, okay, what you didn't like. Is there something annoying you? Is there something worrying you? Is there your a fear of something that it's going to happen in the next months? It's any tension between any colleagues that you're working with. So you have to let your employees have this space to open themselves, because if not, at the end they will burn out because they have something inside doing pain day by day. Okay, so the most important thing here is giving them space to open, to talk, to be themselves, to say everything that happens in their mind. Because at the end, when sometimes now, more these late months, when I'm talking with people. And what do you do? Of course, I'm the operations chief officer of Varner, and I manage all the productions, all the imports, all the exports, all the logistics, couriers, DHL. That is one of the sponsors. In this case, we are using DHL as well because we want fast delivery. Okay, this is one of the most important things in Varner. Okay. Not in Europe. Sorry, in Europe we deliver with UPS. Out of Europe we deliver with DHL. But right now, when people ask, okay, what do you do? Is I try to make the task of my employees easier. If they need me to improve a process, if they need me to install a tool, if they need me to hire an external team to help with something, I'll do. So at the end, I think the task of a manager is not being, if you have a team of 4 people, you don't have to be the fifth one. You have to be a multiplier through process, multiplier through tools, or any other thing. But at the end, the manager what has to be there is for the team, for listening, and for improving their performance, and for letting them grow, professional and personal, giving them tools. Thanks to Little Padawan, to Padawan Mindset, we are giving our employees money to do courses and to grow. I don't care if it's something for Barner or not, but they have to grow. Okay. Then just an extra mile thing, what we do in Barner, just about culture, because the culture is the most important things. We do a lot of workshops. Today, in fact, we had one workshop of Scrumban, that is the mix between Scrum and Kanban, okay, 2 methodologies of work that is a to do high performing teams. Last month, we had one of tribal leadership, super interesting. And we had like meditation workshops. So we were all the ones in the same room, in this case, Hoping, for example, and we were doing these kind of meditations, mindfulness, and just relax. So this is one good thing. And one good thing that we have in Barner as well is the Barner to Barner. So anyone in Barner can explain something to the colleague. So this is like the third thing I want to finish with this, but I want to like emphasize that for us the most important thing is the employees. How we call them is the family, because every time I go to the office I found my family, that is them, because it's where is the people I spend most of my time with. Okay, so at the end you have to try to make high performing teams, taking care of them, asking them a lot of feedback, giving them tools to grow, giving them tools to do faster things, and all these OKRs that we have sent, all the mission, all the vision, all the core values, for me is the most important thing. And thanks to that, it's how Barner in these states that we stopped earlier. In 2019, we went from 140,000 euros to 1.2 million euros, and finally this year we're going to be we will going to have more than 4.5 million revenue euros. More, we are 18 people. Okay, we are selling in more than 140 countries online, and offline we're in more than 19 countries right now. I think North Macedonia we entered like 2 months ago or 1 month ago, something like this. But at the end, this is how we have been improving ourselves regarding people, and regarding people seats, regarding performance from 2017 to 2020. Okay, so this is my whole presentation. Here you have a code for any interested to protect their eyes, Macedonia 10, for any of the one that is listening this conversation. Thank you very much. Hope you liked it. And if you have any questions or something, I'm here just to listen questions or anything that you want to ask.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's always good and it's always inspiring to hear a great, successful, even Kickstarter story and what you have achieved, and also the stuff you're saying actually they actually make sense. I haven't tried them, but it sounds like they make sense. So
try
thank
them
you very much again.
Of course, Goraz, we are always improving SEM. We are always improving SEO. We are always improving couriers, speed. We're always improving absolutely everything that everyone in e-commerce is improving. But when Philip came, I think because when we talk with other companies, they're always putting more attention in how we treat the people. So this is what I wanted to share with you guys today.
Okay, thank you very much again, and I hope we meet in person maybe next year.
Yeah, for sure. I will be super happy to be there.
Have a nice day, and keep yourself safe and the others around you, and see you next time.
Same, Goras. Thank you very much.